we are gonna be baking the ultimate chocolate cake. This is so fun, it's so easy. First things first, we have cocoa powder. Next thing that's going in is some plain flour, baking powder. This is 1.5 tablespoons going in. Plant-based milk going in.
Nice.
Any plant-based milk would be absolutely fine. That is 250 grams of maple syrup. Maple syrup is kind of a tiny bit healthier than just using raw cane sugar. Also, it just has that slightly nicer taste. A teaspoon of vanilla extract. This is the moment of truth. Stir this and stir this and stir this. At some point, it will come together. So you can see that's come together. It feels quite wet as a batter, which is gonna make it really easy for me to pour into my cake tins. This is gonna be the money shot. Where it just gets poured. Next up, spatula or wooden spoon. Persuade the cake mix out to the edges. So these are gonna go in the oven for 25 minutes at 180 degrees. So I'm actually just gonna make the icing with the help of this food processor. First up, cocoa powder. Then we have icing sugar, dairy-free butter, and then a touch of plant-based milk. Feel free to adjust this to get the right consistency. Finally, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. There we are. This absolute beautiful icing is done. You do not want a warm cake because your icing is not gonna sit properly on top of it. So 1/3 of the icing is gonna go in, spread it on super slowly, super carefully. With this bottom layer, just make sure you've got a nice kind of straight surface because you need to make sure it's gonna support the next layer. The second one, now the key thing here is to remember we have some baking paper on the bottom of that. So please take that off. That goes on top. Cover all of that cake in this incredible dark chocolate fudgy icing.
Look at that cake, man.
I mean, this is absolutely beautiful. This is looking pretty sexy. So these little beauties will look absolutely beautiful on top of this cake. Now, you know, if you wanted to take this up a level, you could also use some dairy-free white chocolate, sprinkle them on top too, and they would look absolutely beautiful. That is gonna do for us. I'm happy with that. Looking beautiful.
You've done the honors. I think you need to cut that bad boy.
Oh my God.
Oh, here we go. There we go. Ah!
Ooh. Oof.
Look at that.
Right, let's go in for a taste.
It is ludicrously Moorish, this one.
That is absolutely banging. So good, so chocolatey. That icing is...
It's ridiculous. It's the chocolatiest chocolate cake I've ever tasted in my life.
Looking beautiful. There you have it. Our ultimate chocolate cake.
Who doesn't like lemon drizzle cake? Now the first ingredient is this. This is light olive oil. Unsweetened plant-based milk. Our fave is oat milk because it is the most sustainable, isn't it? 50 milliliters of lemon juice. Give this a good old stir. Right, so check this out. What we've got there is all those 3 liquids have all come together beautifully. This is self-raising flour and it's going into our bowl. 200 grams, nice. Golden caster sugar. Into the bowl, nice dry mix, ground almonds. This is what gives the cake its kind of consistency, really nice flavor. This is baking powder, this pinch of salt. This is the zest from 2 lemons. A really nice kind of bite, a really nice texture and beautiful taste. Mix this all through, right? You wanna make sure that all those dry ingredients are mixed. Wet ingredients are going into the dry ingredients. Nice and slow. Okay, we're just gonna pop them in there like so. And then I'm gonna go in nice and easy, nice and slowly. It's gonna clump up initially and you're gonna be like, what on earth is going on here? But then all of those clumps and lumps are all gonna come together and they're gonna form a really nice cake batter. This is the perfect consistency, check that out. Now it's 1.3 kilogram loaf tin. Pick this bad boy up and pour it into the loaf tin. Oh my goodness.
Oh, look at that shot.
Now this is going into the oven for 35 minutes at 180 degrees. What I'm gonna do is show you how to make the topping. Demerara sugar, there's 100 grams of it. 2 lemons, this is the juice of 2 lemons. Demerara sugar is quite a coarse grained sugar and they're quite hard, but like you need that for that little crunch that you get with the lemon drizzle cake. So this is the Drizzler. Check it out. So it's kind of really nice and it's really sort of thick and unctuous. Just going to drizzle this lemon drizzle all over the top of our cake, kind of in a relatively haphazard fashion. So what we've got here is basically a well drizzled lemon drizzled cake. The crunch of that drizzle is going to complement the sort of juicy inside so nicely. So I've got my bread knife here and I'm going to cut this bad boy open, okay? There we go. Look at that. That is so fluffy and so luscious. Oh, I forgot to do one thing because I actually made these little zesty...
Oh yeah.
Oh, look at that. Now, the pièce de résistance.
Now it looks posh. So good.
That is good. That's
Wow.
really good.
The crumb is perfect. Top that drizzle all over the top. It's kind of crunchy, acidic, lemony. Perfect.
It's a good cake. You're gonna love it if you made it at home.
The ultimate carrot cake from Bosch Cookbook #1. The first thing I'm going to show you is how to make a flax egg. So to this 2 tablespoons of flax seeds, add, that was about 6 tablespoons of water. Stir that around with my fork. It's already started to thicken, but we're going to leave that for about 5 minutes. It really has thickened, and I'm just going to add that into a jug, which is ready for our wet ingredients. Some oil. That is also going to act as a bit of a binding agent as well. Plant-based milk, vanilla extract, apple cider vinegar.
Oh, look at that.
And just make sure all of our wet mix is well incorporated. Plain flour. Add in our brown sugar. Here we have a little selection. First up, cinnamon, ground ginger, nutmeg, baking powder, bicarbonate of soda, and salt. A little bit of salt. I'm going to use this whisk to just kind of help persuade it all to break up. Add our liquid and whisk that through.
My goodness, so good.
So there we go. Batter is looking good. Grated carrot. So this is where the carrot in the carrot cake comes in. And sultanas. Boom. Stir those through that batter. This is now done. Pour this bad boy into a lined and greased cake tin. That is going in the oven at 180 for 55 minutes. We're gonna make an absolutely lovely buttercream icing. Plant-based butter. We would just wanna fluff that up. That is now nice and soft. So we add a little bit of icing sugar. That is kind of starting to come together to form our icing. That is a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I'm going to squeeze in the juice of half a lemon. All of that icing sugar has disappeared. That is looking absolutely lovely. I mean, it almost looks like ice cream.
Yeah, that really is.
Your cake will have been baking for 55 minutes. Take it out of the oven and let it cool down to room temperature. I can't stress enough, you need to really let that thing cool. Time to ice this bad boy. I've got my icing here. I've got my bottom half of the cake. I'm gonna take about a third on here, like so.
It looks thick, that icing, man.
Absolutely lovely. Ice this all over this bottom half of the cake. So I've got a nice even coverage. I used about a third of that icing, and I'm gonna add the top half.
Boom.
Boomer.
There we go.
Lovely. So it's taking a little bit of persuading to get around the edges, but we're getting there. Slow and steady wins the race here. Now, in order to just top this off, we're gonna add something special, aren't we, Ian? One in the middle. And then make the clock. That's one. Perfect. This is just some lemon zest. And that on the top is gonna add a lovely acidic fragrance to the top of this cake. And it just makes you feel like you're doing something a little bit decoraty.
Oh man, it does look damn good, that does.
And that is the Bosch carrot cake. I'm gonna go there.
Yes.
Oh, beauty.
There we go. There it is. It's like a little shark. Oh. Oh.
Hey. Let's serve up.
Time to eat some.
Time to taste.
Look at it. How nice is that? Give it a thumbs up. Yeah, baby.
That is absolutely delicious. We've proper destroyed that. That is the Bosch carrot cake. Absolute beauty.
Banana bread blondie, and it is from our second cookbook, Bish
Bash.
Bosh! Head over to the oven and turn it on. 180 degrees Celsius is the temperature you're after. And these are almonds. Roast them for 8 to 10 minutes. And as you can see, I've bashed them up with a pestle and mortar, or you can do it with the end of a rolling pin. These are very ripe bananas. So what we're gonna do is mash this banana, okay? And we're just gonna give it a good old mash. So what we've got here, I've left a little bit of texture, because to have a little bit of banana-y texture in a banana bread blondie is no bad thing. Add 6 tablespoons of maple syrup. Vegetable oil, you could use sunflower oil, vanilla extract. So just going in, boomer, right, there we are, lovely. Oat milk, but you can use any plant-based milk that you so wish. This is peanut butter, I've gone for smooth, you could go for crunchy. I've got a fork, and I'm gonna mix this up, okay? It might take a little bit of time, but you know what? It's fine. Right, so that is the consistency that we are after. It's very liquidy, it's got a little bit of lumpiness, but that's perfect for texture. It's 80 grams of caster sugar, 250 grams of plain flour right there, a little bit of salt, baking powder and bicarbonate of soda. Mix up all of those dry ingredients together, mix the two together. Do-do. Like the sound effects? Oh, I know you do.
Oh, there we go.
I know you do. Wet and dry come together to form a wonderful, delightful, gorgeous batter. I'm gonna put 3/4 of this in there. So here we go. That's really good. And I've got this many left. 100 grams of dark chocolate. I've broken it up with a knife. Some big bits, some little bits. Yeah? Look at this. Oh my God. So the chocolate and the nuts are coming together with the banana. Literally just pour all of this lovely batter, the textured wonder, into our tin. Okay? And we're just going to scrape it all out, making sure that everything's getting in there. Now, as you can see, it's quite thick, this batter. So you need to sort of like manipulate it into the corners with your spatula. Just make sure it gets all the way into the sides. And you are going to be like, goodness, it's going to be like as flat as a pancake, but it isn't. It's going to be all good. Trust me. This is the peanut butter that we had earlier on. So that's the leftover. Just slop it on.
Persuade it on.
Yeah.
Persuade it.
Yeah, not slop. That's probably the wrong word, but yeah, we're just going to persuade it over. So they're the almonds that we had before. We're just going to sprinkle them over, okay? Okay, so these are bananas, and as you can see, I've chopped them long ways and then chopped them in half. And what we're going to do with these is this. Right, so this is brown cane sugar, right? It's just to caramelize those bananas. Is just sprinkle over a little bit. Brown sugar will melt, caramelize, and make those bananas even more delicious. I love a banana.
This is proper special.
It's a bloody good recipe.
Yeah, this is. I would say this is like one of our finest.
Yeah. So this is as it looks like after it's been in the oven for a while. It looks amazing, and this is melted chocolate. Now you had 25 grams of it. We're going to drizzle it over this. This chocolate drizzle just works so well with it right at the end. There we go. Here we go, here we go. Oh, look at it. Oh, banana bread for the win. So that.
Oh, nice cut there. Look at that.
Oh, Jesus. Look at him. Ta-da! That is a damn fine piece of cake.
Beautiful.
Shall we nibble, nibble?
My favourite piece is the bananas on top. Cheers.
Right, cheers.
Well done, Ian.
Oh, man.
I mean, that is a really beautiful thing.
But it's absolutely amazing.
Boom!
There you have it. The most beautiful banana-y cake we've ever seen. Perfect for eating. That, what a weird ending. Right. That is our BISCOFF coffee cake. Those gorgeous spiced biscuits from Europe. They're running throughout that cake. They're in the icing. Ah, so good. First step we have got is plain flour, wholemeal flour. We've got 180 grams of each, some light brown sugar. That's going in right here. And then some caster sugar. baking powder, a good pinch of salt. Whiz that all together. You can use a wooden spoon, whatever you've got. That is our dry mix done. Mashed up banana. That is a well mashed up banana, and look, you can kind of already see, but it's gonna do a great job of bringing this cake together. And it'll add a lovely flavor as well. So here we have some peanut butter.
Well, we were supposed to be using BISCOFF spread, but unfortunately the supermarket didn't have any.
If you don't have BISCOFF spread, peanut butter will work fine. That is a shot of espresso, about 25-30 mils of coffee, plant-based milk. We don't really have a preference. Convince this peanut butter to disappear to nothingness before I add even more liquid in here. And that is coconut oil, which has melted. And now, add the dry to the wet. That is good. Now this batter is coming together. I'm using a little bit of, you know, elbow grease here. So pour half into a cake tin, which we have greased and lined. Absolutely incredible.
Oh, look at that shot.
Wow.
Perfect.
Our oven was preheated to 200 degrees. So these are gonna go into the oven onto the middle rack for 30 minutes. These BISCOFF biscuits, we're just gonna chuck them in. There we go. And we're gonna blitz them to a fine powder. And I'm just gonna grab some of the broken bits. They are gonna go on top of and stirred through that cake mix, because I forgot to do that bit. It's really important to get it super fine because this is basically gonna be in our icing. So we're gonna add some dairy-free butter, a touch of maple syrup going in for sweetness, a touch of plant-based milk as well. I'm just gonna make sure this is all really, really well mixed. Ooh. Wow. Add this icing sugar, and there is a lot going in here. Woohoo!
Ooh, it's like a fire.
We'll
Look
see
at the fire coming
clouds
up.
of goodness. And now blitz that all together and let the blender do that work for you. And that now looks perfect for spreading. And now I'm gonna make this thing look absolutely beautiful. A massive dollop of this wonderful icing just gonna go on top of that cake, like that. Persuade it out all the way to the edges and just make sure you've got a nice sandwich layer. And you can see I've completely covered the cake, and so I'm just carefully gonna pop that bad boy over there. Looking lovely. And now I can do the same thing on the top.
Oh yeah.
We should really call it speculoos.
Yes.
But weirdly, like, it's one of those things where people know the brand name more than they know the actual name of the thing. Like, you know, a Jaeger bomb.
Or a Hoover.
Or a Hoover, or rollerblades. So to finish this off thing, I'm just gonna kind of swirl it round. It's absolutely that moment when you should freestyle and just go a little bit mad.
That looks so good.
And let's cut this cake.
Oh, there it's like, here it goes. Ah, nice.
Wow. Right, are you ready?
Look at
Moment of
that.
truth. There we go.
Hey,
Look at that. And let's see what we think.
But it's all good. And the taste of it is amazing.
That's really good.